2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/fan and use code FAN. That's code FAN at prizepicks.com/fan.
Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable appetite for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers podcast.
Perfect. All right, welcome back to the C3 Panthers podcast. My name's Tony Dunn. It's the longest running Panthers podcast. We took a week off, the first week off out of that we haven't made up in 8 years last week while I went on vacation, a much needed respite. My wife and I went straight into another hot zone. I've joked that I canceled my trip to Wuhan and went to Florence, Italy in March. Well, we went to Key West. We're back. We're healthy and safe. We had a week in the blazing hot sun there. And guess what? We didn't really miss much when it comes to the Panthers. And finally, we actually have something to talk about. And that is, I actually have sound bites from players. Only 2. But still, we're going to play them tonight. And that's been more that we've had to talk about for 5 months, it feels like. So you can be a part of the longest running Panthers podcast by calling into the show. The number's 252-228-5098. You can hang out with the professor. And you can hang out with my man, Cody Lashney, as well. How you doing, Cody?
Tony Dunn. They missed us, man. We took off one Tuesday night, and our chat room is lit, brother. We got some heavyweights, and we got some brand new names. Nate Montedero, Jeremy Clancy, Tim Tizzy, Rio, Tyler Lovato, Underground West. Tony, I'm just happy to be back on another Tuesday night, kicking it with my boys, talking about some Panther football. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
We also got the crazy voice, the voice of streaming games, a man who plays. I wonder how you're not divorced yet, CK, as you play COD till your eyes bleed. I've been getting on the sticks a little bit this week, getting a little bit better, right? Trying some different things. And I like watching you stream your gaming on Facebook, and I know you've been killing it lately.
Yeah, man. I'm having a blast, man. It's going well. We're probably, I don't know exactly the timetable, but we're going to have Tyler Larson playing on the stream here soon. So that's going to be pretty cool to see that. Awesome. Tyler Larson, for those who may not know, he is a Panthers roster guy on the offense.
A big contributor for the offensive line over the last couple of years as well.
Yep. So that should be sometime soon that I'll be playing with him. I'm going to try to get him to try to get some of the other players in on it as well and make it a whole big thing. But yeah, it's been fun, man. And I missed you guys, but here's something that's going to get you guys super excited. we're 1 month away from football.
I don't even know what that means.
So
I don't even know what that means. You know what? This is what I want you to do, CK, is I want you to butter up this Tyler Larson guy. Obviously, we're going to get him on the podcast and these guys. This is our in. But I think our first in should be fans versus players, COD. Right? Like,
That would be awesome. Dude.
Like if we could do a private team deathmatch. Yeah, a custom game where I blast the shit out of, I'm really sad though. The guy I wanted to shoot in the head or stab in the back 3 times. That's my favorite one. The rib stab would have been the guy that just got cut.
If you could play against any one Panthers player, who would it be? Who would be the most fun to play Call of Duty with? I'll give you my answer. I think Dante Jackson's a shit talker.
You know it. You know it.
I still consider Luke a Panther. I consider Luke that would be a good player to play against. I think he's pretty competitive.
I bet you he's good at comms.
He's the master communicator of COD, and I'm trying to think of, would DJ Moore be the guy that never speaks?
Maybe so. Yeah, probably.
And
maybe him or Curtis Samuel, maybe.
Quick question about COD, since you've been streaming morning, noon, and night, and all till your eyes bleed. Are the mornings, do they tend to be players who don't talk as much, like 9-year-olds who are trying to hide it from their parents? Because
it's not even just a matter of them trying to hide it. There's just a lot of times in the morning, people are just doing it to make time go by, and they're just being, they're just not doing it because of anything other than just wanting to sit there. So a lot of times they don't even have their mics plugged in.
It's so hard to play when you don't talk to each other. It's ridiculous.
It's one of the most difficult games to play if you don't have communication.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what else is great to communicate about is this podcast, and we've also got the Bat Daddy, who's the master communicator, the podcast communicator, the man of many podcasts. How you doing, Greg? It's been a while since we've caught up together. I'm happy to be hanging out with my homies.
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, man. And, I was playing Call of Duty with CK right before we got on here. And, I'm that guy. I provide cover fire, and I provide fire away from the guys who are getting the actual job done. I played 2 games, and I had 0 kills. I think I've had 1 kill in the time I played with y'all. And I probably played 10, 12 games.
I'm getting up there. I'm starting to get multi-kills these days.
I'm that guy that you use to draw. Exactly. I'm the guy you use to draw away the fire, or I provide cover fire.
How many kills did you? What's your best game so far, Tony?
I think maybe 4 or 5.
Oh, okay, good.
Nothing great yet. Nothing great.
Sometimes I had 14 kills.
Sometimes those assists count more than the kills.
Oh, dude,
you gotta have those guys in there.
I couldn't tell you how many times. Like that's almost how I play with Rocket League too. Like I'm that support guy who's there who makes it a lot harder on the other team to score a goal. He's not necessarily making the direct saves or scoring the goal, but I'm getting the ball in the center of the net so that they can just finish off the goal. I got assists, I got diversions, I've got anyway. That's the gameplay that it's very important. Same thing with anything, I guess.
Yeah. But no, seriously, we didn't do it last week, and then my show on Friday got kind of squashed too because just too many people got too busy. So I went like 4 days without podcasting, which I normally never do. It's been a long time. It feels crazy. I did one last night, but still, it's great to be back.
But wasn't it probably a much needed break? Like a little refresher almost?
Yeah.
Like you're tired of hearing your own voice?
I feel good. Yeah.
It let you miss it a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. Gives it some worth.
Dude, aren't the Canes supposed to be playing right now?
Who?
I don't know.
The Hurricanes? Today is Tuesday. Right? August 11th. They are supposed to be playing the Bruins at 8 Why is there no score? Did they cancel the game? Somebody in the chat room tell me why I can't find a score to game 1 between the Hurricanes and the Bruins. I was sure it was happening tonight. All right. Again, go ahead, smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the C3 Panthers podcast. We're going
tomorrow at 11 a.m. Sorry,
it's tomorrow at 11 a.m. What happened? Did it get canceled because of lightning? I never heard that because of a hockey game. And who plays a playoff hockey game at 11 a.m.?
People with COVID or people at home with COVID, what can watch it?
Why could you?
Every time to do it.
Moneybags Lawson in the chat says postponed until tomorrow.
Yeah.
What did somebody catch? Like did the referee, the officials? Because, man, we
I'd
need
be lying
sports.
to you if I told you I knew even.
Hang on, let me look at
the most remote thing about hockey. I couldn't tell you.
Oh, I used to.
Cody, you're
I
on the
played
same boat
hockey
there.
as a kid.
Yeah, dude.
Look, the Boston Bruins just tweeted, well, that's a few more hours. Game 1 between the Bruins and Canes has been rescheduled for 11 a.m. on Wednesday. And that's all it says. Doesn't give any information about anything.
I
was
was
like
thinking
they-
they were going to start talking some shit.
They boycotted. It was like they boycotted. It was like, nah, guys, we drank too much last night. We're gonna try to. We're just all gonna take this. They can't postpone. They live in a bubble. They can't even have.
I just expected that tweet to sound like this. Like, looks like the Canes weren't prepared, so they found a way to postpone the game. So we're a few hours away from victory, guys.
You know, the Canes 2 years ago, or was it last year? It might have been last year when they were, they got hot. And it was last year. Bunch of jerks. They were a bunch of jerks last year. And that was because they celebrate. They were like the Cam Newtons of hockey. Like they would do all these team celebrations and things. And then I saw the Hurricanes. They swept the Rangers. Beat them in 3 straight in a 5-game series. And the Rangers, who are my team, really, because, I grew up a Rangers fan. I played hockey as a kid. And the Hurricanes tweeted him and was like, thanks, Rangers. Have a good one. And like, just a bunch of jerks. Even their Twitter count is a bunch of jerks. All right. Let's go ahead and start. Go ahead.
I figured it out. Hurricanes tweeted, due to the length of the Lightning Blue Jackets game, Game 1 between the Bruins and the Canes, originally scheduled for 8 p.m. today, has been rescheduled for 12. So just to the length of the game beforehand, which is
oh my gosh, yeah.
think
I
they
mean,
would have
that happens when you play all those games on one rink.
Yeah. I mean, it's like basketball's doing right now, though. But
Okay. All right, let's jump into the show. Again, you can call in 252-228-5098. Guys, training camp has begun, and I don't even really know what that means in this year, right? Is that usually when training camp begins, we have all these interviews. We have, they kick it off with a day of interviews. The guys are getting in there. They're settling in the past. They go to Wofford. They post up in Spartanburg, and a bunch of big rich men go spend a week or whatever they're, whatever 4 or 5 days in a row, and then they'll go home and come back or something like that, 2 weeks. And they live in dorms. Now they're practicing in a bubble. Their lives are a bubble. They wear masks all day. They're contact tracing. They are staying healthy, it sounds like. I've not heard of any COVID cases surrounding the Carolina Panthers. But we did hear from, if you go to the Panthers website right now, we got an interview with Stephen Weatherly. We got an interview with Eli Apple. And I did see some actual pictures of Teddy Bridgewater throwing the football to CMC and to Robbie Anderson. Now, no pads, no defenders, no nothing. All I can tell you is this, is that Teddy Bridgewater can throw a little touch pass, something that a lot of people say that Cam Newton could not in his whole life complete. And Robbie Anderson is very skinny without pads on, but according to the Panthers, has never dropped a football. They showed him catch 5 passes in a row. Other than that, that's all I got.
That's it.
Well, I've noticed that Teddy Bridgewater, listen, man, especially when you're having to replace Cam Newton, I'm putting more respect on his name. One, because he really is interacting with Panther fans on Twitter.
And
Like,
not
he
always
really
good.
is.
It's
And,
not
like,
always a good thing.
Well, but you know what? I like the fact, because there's a large portion of Panthers Twitter, which I am admittedly a part of, that's like, dude, we're running this tank. We're going to get a brand new quarterback. It's about to be lit. And I like the fact that Teddy Bridgewater has that chip on his shoulder, like, nah, bro, you ain't seen what I'm about to do. And I like the fact that he has that energy about him. But I have noticed that he is trying to differentiate himself from how Cam used to do it. So famously now he's not allowing any music to be played during practice because it has not been earned yet. And, I like that. It's a different style. It's a different leadership style. And, I do applaud Teddy for coming in and trying to put his mark down as the de facto leader of this football team right now. I think if we're going to have any hope for this season, it's going to revolve around Teddy being able to do shit like this.
He's the elder statesman. I mean, in theory, even though he hasn't played a ton in the NFL, he did come in as a high draft pick, first round pick, goes into Minnesota, starts as a rookie, I believe, or at some point he did start his rookie season, had some initial success, and then you had Minnesota wasn't that good at the time and some different things, but he hasn't had because of injuries, and he's been bounced around from the Jets to the Saints as a backup quarterback, but he is like the oldest dude on the offense.
Yeah. How old is he again?
How old is he?
Yeah, 30.
No, dude, he's like 28.
Oh,
yeah,
he's younger.
He's in his 20s, yeah.
Oh,
he's younger than Cam, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he is.
He's 27. He's an elder statesman. He was born in 1992, dude.
Well,
Isn't it weird that that's kind of old for football?
It's not.
Yeah,
It's not, though. I mean, if you think about it, Tom Brady is like 70. Phillip Rivers is like 60.
Their quarterbacks are exceptions. They always play longer. But
Think
here's
about
the thing
how
with-
old our team has been, though, for the last 4 years.
compared to what it is now.
We've always been good when we were old, too.
I wouldn't say always.
Oh,
Well, not
yeah, I
always.
wouldn't say always.
Our
defense has
first Super Bowl was
stunk the
always-
last
we
2
were old.
years.
We did well. But here's the thing with Teddy Bridgewater coming in and changing that, as far as I feel about it, I don't care. Change whatever you want to change. This is not the team that we had last year, the 2 years before that. They've completely changed everything, and it's fine. I'm rolling with the punches, and I'm seeing what's happening. But as long as you don't change, keep pounding, change whatever you want to. This is a different team. I can't stop it. I've just got to roll with it. So just change. I don't care.
I gotta be
Awesome.
I gotta be optimistic and excited about Teddy Bridgewater, because when I see Cam Newton in that Patriots jersey, I just get sad. Like he looks like Super Cam over there.
Did you see him? And
Yeah.
dude, it looks like Cam put on. Like, remember how he was doing the vegan thing and he dropped down? It was
Yeah.
like,
He just said,
this
I'm
is
eating
the-
all the meat.
Yeah, this is the new limber Cam Newton. Dude, it's like Cam Newton injected a bunch of bull protein like right into his ass, dude. He is looking
He's big.
jacked right now, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, it does make me miss him. But again, we're not
Sure.
gonna redo
No.
this whole
Is I've
Cam thing,
I've been
you know.
trying to not even. I didn't even go watch his press conferences or anything like that, because we have. This has been the Cam Newton podcast essentially since we started in so many ways. But is Teddy Bridgewater is going to have to assert himself as a leader on this team, because we don't have anybody else to do it, right? I mean, think about it. Is the most Christian McCaffrey, right? It's Christian McCaffrey, and all these guys were so young. I did hear that Eli Apple just turned 25. He's one of the oldest people on the defense. Maybe that's exciting in a lot of ways. I am, is that, we've always talked about playing, fast, this fast tempo. And here, actually, let me go ahead and play this clip. Let me see if I can pull it up. Go ahead, CK, and comment on what you've seen so far as camp opening up and these new changes as I pull up this.
I mean, it's just so vague and everything, as far as what we're hearing. Obviously, we're hearing the same rhetoric we hear every training camp, except for we're not getting nearly as much access. Did you guys get a chance to watch the way that they're handling bringing people with like the technology they're using to clean the rooms with that ultraviolet pulse lighting? And
Yeah, I saw the video that the Panthers uploaded to their YouTube account. And I didn't finish it, but can I
please
just say,
tell me
man,
all about this? And the other thing I want you to tell me about is the contact tracing thing that they're doing.
Well, yeah. So CK can tell you more about it than me. I just want to say this before we go any further. In a day and age where COVID is ruining everybody's world, it's throwing off everything. The Big Ten and the Pac-12 are not even going to have their season in the fall. So there's so much craziness going on. This represents the only time that people can actually side with billionaire NFL owners, because it seems like no matter what, come hell or high water, there is gonna be NFL football.
Oh, I hope
COVID
so.
or not, they're charging
Money
And I
makes the
could-
world go round,
yeah,
bro.
Man, I could not be happier. It's going to be that one constant in a world of chaos. I'm just happy that it's coming back. I think now I am getting more excited for the season. Now that people are starting to report, you're starting to see players. The Panthers are uploading clips to their Twitter.
It's so
Now you
little
start to
though.
do-
It's like I feel like the Panthers are barely even excited about the season.
Well,
It's
here's
different.
one thing. Here's one thing we haven't talked about, unless you guys brought it up and I just wasn't paying attention. Christian Miller opting out for the season.
Oh yeah, I meant to bring that up. Is he as a high risk somebody? What, he must have like asthma.
yeah. It must
Apparently,
be
he said it was
something.
really hard decision for him. Or his mom or something was high. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the thing it's so tough about that is like for him, he has the world to prove, right? He's got to prove himself because he hasn't had an opportunity to do so. He's had a couple of good games, a couple of good moves, but from the most part, he's been pretty. This was his opportunity to come in and show coaching staff what he can do, show the world what he can do, and show out that he can be more than just somebody who came in here with we drafted him at a much lower rate than he was graded at because of injury concerns or whatever it was that we had the issues with. But what we're doing, so what's crazy, so they've got everything figured out. They've got there's contact tracing, but they have these wristbands now that they have to wear while they're at practice. And the wristbands have a light on them. And if you come within 6 feet of somebody, that light turns red and I'm too close to that person.
Oh my
Right?
gosh.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, they spent all of this money on these little wristbands that, like, literally are lights that just tell you you're close to somebody when, like,
This is what Amazon does in their factories, I heard. Is like
It should be a shock collar. It should be a shock bracelet. It shocks you when you get within 6 feet.
I'm sorry, I am over COVID so much. I don't even like. I think this is
Same,
over
Same.
over preparation, like over concern, dude. I told you guys I went to Florida. Put me in there, coach. I will tackle these mugs. I ain't scared of it. Spit in my face.
Here's what's crazy, and to talk about just the political side of this, how just horrible our society is at keeping track of these things. COVID was at one point when at the height of when everybody was going crazy, was at a 4% mortality rate, right? Now they finally fixed all the statistics because they were not counting things correctly. They finally
probably
realized
like a 1% now.
less than 1%.
That's
Less
what I've been saying for
1%.
weeks, and everybody's been calling me crazy.
I know. I'm with you, man. I've been
Everybody's
with you
been calling me
too.
Crazy.
Deion Sanders. Go back. Let's just go back to Christian Miller real quickly. Is Deion Sanders tweeted out this? Is he said all players opting out in all sports, please believe the game will go on without you. This is a business, and don't you ever forget that. There's no one that's bigger than the game itself. Only the refs, umps, and officials are that important. I don't get that part because I guess they can't actually play that day if like the whole official
He was
went
just
down.
saying like that if you're a player, they're going to replace you with the next man up.
And Christian Miller does not have the what is it? Not collateral. He does not have. He's not a first round pick.
No, he needed this. That's why it's so.
He needed
unfortunate.
this season so
And,
bad.
he needed this season, and to be honest, I really don't think that we're going to miss him that much because when you look at Weatherly coming in, now we have your Terry Gross Matos. We still have Marquise Haynes on the roster. Like we do have a decent little rotation that Christian Miller was actually going to be a nice little addition to. But now that continues to move on completely without him. So, yeah, I mean, you really do feel for him. And I don't – it's so hard, because it's like I don't want to shame anyone for making a decision that they feel
believe is right.
Yeah, that they believe is right, and they're trying to do the right thing and not ultimately hurt their family members. Dude, it's tough shit for everyone. No one wants to be doing this. But I do want to touch on something when I mentioned college football because it does relate to us. And Tyler Lovato in the chat, he says, I'm so terrified these college quarterbacks are going to go back for their senior year since they can't play this year. And I put this out on Twitter, and it's like the most Panthers thing that could happen. If like we have a terrible season this year and we get the number 1 pick in the draft, and there's no college football this year. So Trevor Lawrence decides, you know what? I'm coming back to Clemson for my senior year. And the Big Ten isn't playing this year, so maybe Justin Fields wants to raise his stock a little higher. It's just, it means a lot because a lot of these players, I mean, think about Joe Burrow. This is a player that no one knew before the start of the last season and played his way.
He would have been a 6th-round pick. He would have been a 6th-round pick, if even that. He would have gone undrafted without last year.
And then went on to have one of the best statistical seasons that a college quarterback has ever had and played his way into the number 1 overall pick. Like, if there is no college football, this is going to have a ripple effect on the professionals, on the pros as well.
The only reason there shouldn't be college is what it probably shows us is the flaws of travel more than anything. Is that like these kids, and this is kind of the bullshit part of college football, and anybody who says that they get this education. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if paying the players is the answer. I almost think that colleges getting out of semi-professional athletics is the true answer, to be honest, because to believe that these guys can practice, that they can practice so much and they can do all this and there's a very few handful of dudes that probably can manage to travel 3 days a week, to practice 4 days a week, and actually take a course load, right? And it be legitimate. So I don't know. I'm surprised there's not going to be college football for all of this. I am so surprised because colleges have said, look, and I live in a university town, and they just said, look, our university is not fiscally solvent enough. We're not Michigan, right? It's like we need these kids going. They need the revenue. And you might not get it for football and some different things, but I'm a little astonished, but I'm not astonished that the NFL is going to play, and I'm more, I don't know, I'm just so like past it, dude. Is like I don't walk out in the world scared. I wear my mask when because I've been mandated, and I keep away, I guess, from people. I'm not kissing anybody. But have you heard this? I heard I live in Greenville, North Carolina, East Carolina University. The first thing that comes out is 8 athletes or 3 students and 8 faculty had COVID. Lowe's and Food Lion are open all day long. I don't hear any stories in the news like 7 people at Lowe's have COVID.
No, I mean, I'm even considered high risk myself. And dude, I don't give a shit anymore. But I also don't go out crazy places either. So, and kind of how it relates to college football, a lot of the arguments that the players and the coaches are making is that if we're a part of the football team, we're being tested on a regular basis. We are rooming with other players that we know have also tested negative. And a lot of people, and I really applaud Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields over the past few days because they've really been active on Twitter talking about this kind of stuff. But a lot of these guys come from real shit backgrounds. So they don't really have anything to go home to. And it's less likely that they're going to go home and quarantine and social distance, especially if they're in a neighborhood where it's like it was either play football or sell drugs.
Or live with my 3 brothers. Right?
Yeah, in the same room.
Right. Yeah, and that's a lot of, we're stereotyping a certain degree, but it's just, all right, no more COVID talk. The reason we brought it up is because of Christian Miller opting out. And here, I did want to go back to this. We were talking about the youth on this team and how fast we've always talked about speed and receivers and wanting to see what Curtis Samuel. Here's Eli Apple on the speed of the receivers.
Eli, David with ESPN.com. Wanted to ask, you've been around the league a little bit. You've seen a lot of receivers. What do you think of the overall speed of the receivers at Carolina? And specifically, what have you seen out of DJ Moore that's impressed you?
Yeah, DJ's fast. Seems like he gets faster every year. And he's getting very technical, too, with his routes. And he's gonna be a great receiver. He already is to me. And of course, Robbie Anderson, I played against him a lot. He's super fast, great get off. Curtis, I feel like we have the fastest receivers, probably, because they all run 4.3, if not faster. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be great to watch.
So our starting wide receiver core is going to be likely DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and cycling in Curtis Samuel in the slot. We've heard rumors that Curtis Samuel could even be used in the backfield some, like he was in college. Those guys are fast. The question is, how are they going to do against big corners who can muscle on them up, and how can they use technique to get off around those? I think, is that going to be a problem? I don't think it's going to be a problem for DJ. DJ's built stout, and Robbie Anderson has had some success in this league, and I think him playing a number 2 role in a place that people really believe in him, he's going to be just fine. You could see this Panthers offense just being smoking fast all season long. I mean, look, Christian McCaffrey is like the slowest dude on the offense, right? And that's crazy.
Yeah. Speed could be the way to go. It seems like having speedy receivers is what's worked for teams like Kansas City and, these high-flying offenses as of recent, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out all that well. I'm never a fan of going in all one direction or all the other.
We saw that in the opposite. Yeah. We went all big.
Slow. Yeah. And it's great on paper, and it may work. It could, but it's probably better to have a little mix of, everything. I do feel like we have a pretty decent receiver core, though. I like Robbie Anderson. I like DJ Moore. Christian McCaffrey, I consider him as a receiver, too, because he catches as many passes as our wide receivers do.
When was the last time we had a receiver?
Has potential.
When was the last time we had a receiver core that you thought was this good, Cody? Would this be going back to? I don't even know if we've had one.
The best Panthers
since before, like Steve Smith and Masim, since
yeah.
Moose,
really, this is probably the best, man. And we've said it before, dude. It's so ironic and par for the course that we've been saying for years that we want Cam Newton to have a cast that looks just like this right after he leaves the team. Yeah. But no, man, listen, the point is we have speed everywhere. Even Farrell Cooper's a name, that we don't mention a lot. Is it Farrell Cooper, right?
Farrell,
yeah.
Farrell, yeah.
We might have our most proven return guy now since Ted Ginn, the first time.
Farrell Cooper.
Pro
Curtis
Bowler.
Samuel, DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey. I do think that hopefully this year you can see a huge jump in the game of Ian Thomas and what he's going to be able to do. And if you look at how Joe Brady used Randy Moss's son, Thad Moss, at LSU, they really got him the ball a lot. A lot. So I think Ian is going to have a good chance of being a real meaningful part of this offense. So my concern has always been the offensive line. If they can give me a little ease and cause me to believe that they're going to be able to give Teddy Bridgewater the necessary protection, I'm down for it, man. And we have the type of players for Teddy to be able to get the ball out quick, because a lot of them are yards after the catch guys. So if Teddy is able to operate this offense in rhythm, yeah, man, we should have an offense that's really tough to game plan for.
Speaking of all of what we've been talking about COVID, and players opting out. We've talked now about the offensive line. That brings us to Russell Okung, who last year suffered from pulmonary embolism. My dad had this after a surgery. It put him down worse than a 9-hour surgery. That little blood clot that rolls through your heart to your lung will put a big man down on the ground more than my dad had a 9-hour surgery, and that was the least of his problems. Russell Okung, a lot of people were speculating potentially as him being a high at-risk player, and one who was even some people suggesting fielding the idea of retirement. The Charlotte News and Observer reported today that Okung's agent which is strange because Okung usually negotiates his own contract. So now he's subcontracting what he usually does. Said that he's not contemplating the idea of retirement. So there is some news for you. But there was one other. So Christian Miller opt out. Little Okung news floating around there. And Graham Gano. Did we talk? We missed this because we weren't here. Graham Gano cut. Yeah. Graham Gano cut. Thank Jesus. I know.
Didn't age well.
What's that?
I said my comments on last show 2 weeks ago didn't age well.
Oh, where he was going to do everything?
Well, no, where I was going to say that we might see a situation where Joey slides out to punter since we lost our punter, and then because Graham Gano does well under that competition style of stuff. So I was thinking, I think Graham Gano sticks around. I think they want to have a sure-footed kicker, but now they've opted to go all in on Joey Sly. Man, it's an interesting tactic. Unfortunately, I'm hoping that their game plan is that we're just not going to be kicking many field goals.
Yeah, do you think this means we're just going to go for analytics based that most of the time we're going for it on fourth down?
I like Joey Sly. I do, and I think he has the potential to be a very good kicker in the NFL. He's just got to get certain things fixed up.
Like the 30-yard field goal. He's weak from 30,
60 and above, dude.
Yeah,
dude is incredible. From those long distance, it's that short range that we're talking about that's the issue for him. So if he can get that short up,
he's like the Cam Newton of kickers.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it is.
The layup is the hardest one.
That's the explanation of what he is to a T, man. But I like him. I think that with the way that the world is going to be working with the new NFL and everything this year, I think that I think Matt Rule may be pushing to try and be more of a gambler than Ron Rivera was.
Riverboat Matt?
Riverboat Rule.
Oh, gosh.
Riverboat
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there we
Riverboat
go.
Rule.
Riverboat Rule. Okay.
Gambling rules. What about that? Gambling rules.
Maybe. Hey, let me just say, a wise man once said, "You don't know what you got till it's gone." And all I'm saying is,
like Butker.
all I'm saying. Well, yeah, but all I'm saying is, sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Dude, I'm full of shit tonight, man. I'm ready to go with these.
Fuck that
cliche over there.
I say fuck that, dude. Fuck that, because look, everybody gave. Go ahead.
The only reason I say that, and I get it, you've been very loud and vocal about your dislike of Gano. I understand it. I get it. But what I'm saying is it could be a whole lot worse. And I keep reminding everyone that even though Joey Sly has a big leg, he missed a lot of field goals last year. And I'm not in the business of just forgetting about that. So it's like, at least when you had both of them, it was like, okay, well, if one's fucking up, at least we have a fallback guy. Now we really don't even have another good option as a fallback guy, in my opinion.
All right. In my defense, I have never been a Joey Sly advocate. I have just been a Graham Gano hater. And
I'm on your side.
And if you think about all the shit we gave that Panther fans gave to John Casey because he kicked the ball out of bounds in the Super Bowl. And by the way, he Ray Finkled it. He did. He Ray Finkled it, laces out.
Yes.
The whole thing. And look, that one, it hurt. That one hurt. But John Casey was like straight money. And then he was money when he left the Panthers for a long time too. I think he went to the Saints after that. But Graham Gano was never that for us. Now, did he had one season where he was really, really good. He had 163 yards. He was always really good when he was about to get cut. That's when he was good. But if you can't forgive John Casey for kicking the ball out of bounds, I can't forgive Graham Gano for missing the 44-yarder at the end of the second quarter in the Super Bowl, or it's either the beginning of the third quarter, where we could have pulled within like 3. in a game that, and that changes momentum a lot. And a missed field goal gives them decent field position. So I don't want to hear the 63-yarder against the Giants in a season that turned out to mean nothing. I want to say 44-yarder in the Super Bowl, and one other one. Here's the other thing, is sometimes it's not just one kick or one game, it's the back-to-back games. Remember when Jake Delhomme just shit the bed in that Cardinals playoff game, and then he came back and played the first game of the next year, and it was just off. He threw he had 11 turnovers in 2 games. Graham Gano also missed a game-winning field goal against the Denver Broncos in the opening, right? And that really changed the entire, I think, kind of set a tone for
the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Because if we don't win that game, I agree, it would have changed everything that season.
So
confidence levels would have been at an all-time high. That entire season was a season of robbery for us because we weren't blown out in many of those games. It was just little losses, and a lot of times we'd be playing from the lead and we'd give that up. And
the year before everything went right. The year before everything went right, every ball bounced our way in 2015, it felt like, until the Super Bowl. In 2016, every ball bounced the wrong way. Let's go to the cat calls, because I know I saw in the transcript the first cat call has to do with the subject we're talking about. Number's 252-228-5098. Smash the thumbs up button. Tell a friend about the longest running Panthers podcast. Be a part of the community.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like...
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
What's up, guys? Kyle from GA. And, man, I've been waiting on it all day since I heard about it, that they let Graham Gano go. I was just wondering, Panthers were really going to have the fucking balls to put a thank you Graham Gano post after not saying a damn word about the best player in their franchise history.
It bugged the shit out of me, guys.
Damn thank you post for Graham Gano. Okay.
Great call.
But didn't say nothing about Cam Newton. I know the situation was a little iffy at first. Can't comment on their post and everything, but you got to say something at some point when you're sitting here. I mean, it's so disrespectful, man. And I know we're trying to get over it, or at least stop talking about it as much and just kind of move on and try to just mesh into the new of the Panthers. But man, it's hard to when you see just trash ass shit like that, man. I can't believe they really did that. But they've done a lot that I did not think they would do in one off season. So I don't know why I'm surprised anymore. It is a business, and David Tepper is a fucking cutthroat type of guy.
He's a Carl icon.
You got to at some point acknowledge Cam Newton. At some point, you have to acknowledge Cam Newton. Like, the fans are just getting fed up with this. I know they don't. Now, I know it's
not anymore.
Really late,
yeah,
and maybe you can't, but just give that a chance, you know. Anyways, I just wanted to see y'all's opinion on that. I think it's fucking disrespectful as fuck for the Panthers to do that. But anyway, guys, y'all take it easy, and as always, keep pounding.
Finish him. Great call right there. You know, is that because I hated Graham Gano, so I don't want to hear no thank you for what you did. Shut up, man. God.
Well, if you actually go back to look at that thank you tweet they sent out, one of my replies is, "Oh, I guess I missed the one with Cam Newton."
Oh, get him.
Like, and so I mean, I agree 100%. That was the first thing I thought as soon as I saw that. I think Cody, you actually didn't you send Cody or CK? One of you two sent it to us in our group chat, and I saw it. I was like, I can't believe it. Like, well, why would you not do that for Cam? Not even acknowledge anything with Cam Newton.
So you know what? I'm to the point now. I can absolutely believe it. Oh, it's the most believable shit in the world, baby.
Yeah, it is.
Believable shit in the world. And
you sound like Dick Vitale, by the way.
Our caller is saying, like, at some point they have to acknowledge Cam. No, the fuck they don't, bro. They have moved on, and they clearly do not give a damn about our hurt feelings because of it. Whether you like it or not, this is a Panthers organization that is minus Cameron Jarrell Newton. And that's just, a few weeks ago, people were getting mad at us because it's like, okay, talk about something other than Cam Newton. He's not a Panther anymore. This is my attempt to do exactly that. I have a mindset of it's just like, dude, if you're holding out for the Carolina Panthers to give Cam Newton their just due and their just respect, you're going to be waiting a long-ass time because it's not going to happen. It just is.
Can I also do this? Because I think Tin wants us to talk about this.
Yeah, I was about to say that. He's calling me out.
No,
he got my phone number.
I'm about to flip the script on this. So we want to talk about between the 20 and 29 that he is 4 for 5 between 20 and 29. He's one of 3 kickers who's missed kickers last year in that time frame, in that amount of, in that. So everybody else, all kickers other than 2 other kickers, he was one of 3 that missed within that 20 yards, 20 to 29. All right. He is number 25 on accuracy percentage, period. He is number 25 on field, like extra point percentages. Like he is not like a top tier.
So they're extra points. That's the worst when you miss a damn extra point. It's like the most ridiculous
that's one thing we're missing, that we're not really talking about with Joey Sly. I like Joey Sly, and I want him. I think he has the potential.
Yeah, you've been a fan of him the whole time.
Yeah, but if I'm looking at it from that perspective, he's missed 4 extra points last year. The one kick that he missed, obviously between 20 and 29. He is. Let's see. I know he's number. Hold on. Let me see how I have this switched up. I'm going to tell you the exact extra point percentage. He is number 25. Then total field goal percentage, he is 23. So I mean, he is at the bottom of that level of competition in the NFL from that perspective. I love him.
What's the difference in 25 and like say 11?
What do you mean?
Just like percentage, just out of curiosity, because I always like to go by percentages, just because the difference in maybe what can be number 7 and what can be number 23,
it's like
could
one
maybe
kick.
be like 1 point.
There's like 17 people tied for 6.
He's at 78% on his regular field goal percentage, period.
Which is not great.
Yeah, he is 78%. Number 10 is 87%, so a 10% increase.
Okay, so that's a huge difference. Okay,
yeah,
I get that. That's the only reason I asked that, because sometimes those can be kind of misleading, just doing placements.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can have like the top 7 receivers, and they're within 100 yards of each other.
Yeah, and let's take it a step further. He's 88% on extra point percentage. To be in the top 10, he'd have to be at 98%, 96%. So another 10% difference between where he's at and where the top 10 kickers in the NFL are.
Yeah, your argument's solid, man. I agree.
But Dan is saying he's not as good
great.
from deep as we're giving him credit for. Is that he missed 5 in the 40? He might not be that damn good, to be honest.
Ten Tizzy's saying he's the real stat daddy. He's calling you out, Greg.
No, I wasn't paying attention to that. Yeah, but I see that. He is. So, he's pulling him out there, but he's also wrong from what he's saying. So it looks like, right? He's opposing us, right?
Here's what I'll say about this. Joey Sly is 11 for 8 between the 50, anything above 50.
But if he's agreeing with us,
right?
Sorry.
Now, here's the thing. He is the number 1 kicker in long distance. Nobody else has 8 kicks last year for 50-plus yards. No other kicker.
Right, but what happens when you're missing extra points? Yeah. Like when you can't guarantee that a touchdown is 7, you have a problem, man. And like this is what I'm saying too. It's like we all want to shit on Graham Gano. Fine. At least we knew that at a certain range, I would rather you be better up close than from a distance, because I know that extra points are more than likely they're going to be tacked onto that touchdown, and you're getting 7 points. Like those points matter. And I think like we're really kind of like there's no assuredness with our kicking team right now, whether it be Sly or anyone else. Like none of these guys, even if it was Gano that kept and got rid of Sly, like no one is proving themselves or has proven themselves to be the answer at that position.
I got something for you, 10 Tizzy.
Nice. I'm calling them out. I got their phone number.
I'm calling them out. I got their phone number. The number's 252-228-5098. That's my boy Fabulous. That's how old I am. Is I like Fabulous, like my man eating lo mein on the. But I'm calling them out. I got your phone number. All right. So way to go, 10 Tizzy, my man, our dude, always in the chat hanging out. We appreciate it. Sure. Let's see what else. Let's go ahead and fire up the next call if you guys don't mind. Let me see. We're on call number 2. And it's a silent one.
Silent but deadly.
Listen, y'all. I'm drunk. And
this is Nick.
Glad we got that out of the way.
Now you all have to deal with me. See if anyone gets that. Tony, that was you, okay? That was the last time we ever saw Cam Newton play in a Panthers uniform. That was that Tampa Bay game that Thursday night that, where a lot of the fans booed him. Okay? And now we make the brilliant move to get rid of Gano.
Yes.
Leaving Joey Sly the only kicker on our damn roster.
Nick,
what
man.
in the hell is going on?
I'm all alone.
We're going to be talking about nothing but that tonight. So, yeah. This is, we better get an answer real fast or I feel like we're going to be tanking this year.
So, hold on. This is the moment that he feels like we're tanking, getting rid of Graham Gano. This is the moment? Like, seriously, after all the stuff we've gone through, this is that straw that broke the camel's back with getting rid of Graham Gano?
It's over. You owe me $10 now. You might as well just pay me. You might as well just pay me.
Hey, I want to go back to what Cody was saying a little bit ago about the kicker and how he feels like extra points are more important to be able to make this consistently. I don't necessarily agree extra points, but my thing is, most kickers in the NFL can hit a 50-yarder. Most. If you're not, you shouldn't be in the NFL.
Right.
Most field goals are not going to be past 50 yards unless you're trying to catch up at the end of the game. You have a reason that you absolutely have to have those 3 points. Most of the time, you're kicking a 50-plus yarder, you're probably not kicking it.
Right.
Just saying. I mean, so it is important to have a guy, like you're saying, that can kick the ball within the inside.
But you kind of just made my point for me.
That's what I'm doing. I'm making your point. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
I'm not.
I'm on your side here. I think that I like Joey Sly, but I think that he needs to be able to kick on the inside better.
Yeah.
Having the ability to kick the long ball is great if you're in a game situation where you need a 70-yarder to win the game. But how often does that come up?
Yes.
A lot less than an extra point or a 40-yard field goal.
I want to know that 85 to 90% of the time, it's guaranteed that you're going to make the extra point. Like
he's
my
in the 85 range. Like he's in that range. Extra point, you need to be 95 to 100%.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times too, and we said this last year, that when the whole team is playing bad, it's kind of hard to single out one player. I think we need to extend that courtesy a little bit to the kicking position too. So yeah, maybe I need to take my own advice. But I think
why do we have to like Graham Gano though? That's my thing. Is I'm fine with y'all.
I don't anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, I was never saying that you had to like him. I'm saying that dude, maybe a glass of milk isn't a beer at night, but hey, at least it's something cold to drink. That's what I'm saying, man. Like at least you had something. You knew you had something substantive. That's all I'm saying. And right now, there's no guarantee that we know that we even have that.
I want to address. Hold on, who did I see it? Somebody said. Rich Kendall says, "What's his best weapon? An injured Edelman." And if you know anything, homie, you know Damiere Byrd is about to put up big time numbers with the damn Patriots, bro.
What if Damiere Byrd? What if he goes off this year?
He will in week 1, and then he'll have like a broken face.
No, what if he goes off for the entire year? What if he is a Pro Bowl receiver at the end of the year?
Gosh, I will be
He
so
will be,
happy, and I'll
and they'll
remind
trade
you
him
he's
away.
been on this podcast twice.
It's embarrassing because Tony probably believes, without a shadow of a doubt, that Demir Bird
He's
is
their
a
number
better
one.
receiver than Curtis Samuel.
Oh yes,
Oh, my ass, bro.
Let's look up the
My
stats.
ass, dude.
Let's look up career stats. Actually, that's a good question. I want to see that.
Oh, it's not. I mean, he statistically is not, but
Yeah, come
but
on.
what was I gonna say? Is that everybody's y'all acting like what was it? I did see that Curtis, the best Panther receiver in history, Curtis Samuel's birthday was yesterday,
We stand Curtis Samuel.
or it might have been today.
Everybody
Yeah.
write, we stand in the chat.
Nah, here's the thing, and look, I was this excited about Curtis Samuel in year one. Like the way you guys are excited, I was that excited, and then it was like the coaching staff just fucking ruined him. So I'm to the point. I'm like the Tampa. To me right now, Curtis Samuel is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What they've been to me in the past is I'm tired of being excited about them. And when I say is like I've never been excited about the Tampa Bay, but I've always said like this is the team. They're gonna come out.
Yeah.
You know, I think they got a little something, and then every year they fucking suck. So I'm hoping for it. But yeah, Demir Bird, dude, he's going to have like 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in week 1. He might get 1 butt cheek touchdown. I was there. He had a kickoff. He had a kickoff return touchdown and 2 touchdowns in that game. It was like a 3 touchdown game for him. It was awesome. Little baby bird. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp.
And then he
chirp,
got hurt.
Chirp. Yeah, and then he got hurt. That's exactly right. That's how it goes. Little baby bird goes chirp, chirp, chirp. And then he gets hurt.
No, all he has to do is do this, and he's by. He's just waving back.
I would rather have Curtis Samuel's excuses than being hurt all the time as being an excuse. Curtis Samuel's had terrible quarterback play, holding him back from being the true version of himself that we know he can be.
Hasn't Curtis Samuel been hurt quite a bit though?
Yes. Yes.
Hamstring
injury.
He's been hurt every season, right? He's missed at least one game every season. He
wasn't hurt last year.
Let's go look at it. Right here, games.
He was hurt the first 2
games.
years.
9-13. Last year was his first full season. So he played 9 in his first season, 13 in his second season. So I mean, he's not injury anti-injury.
The one I think last year was his heart though. I don't think it was an injury.
Still an injury. Keeps you from playing.
That was his first year in the NFL. He had the heart problem. And then they brought him back from that, and he broke his ankle. Yeah, hurt his ankle. And then the next year, Ron Rivera wouldn't play him as much because they were trying to work him back or whatever the hell that means, and not giving him enough playing time. Then Cam Newton got hurt. Then he had white boy throwing him the ball. I forget the dude's name now. That's how much I give a fuck about him, dude.
Kyle Allen.
There we go. That dude. Yeah, man. Listen, Curtis Samuel.
Oh, has anybody, speaking of white dude quarterbacks, other than white dude trolls, Rich Kendall, come on, man. Like, enough. I mean, well, look, we're going to let you hang around here. We're going to let you hang around here because we are not insecure. But come on. Come on, man. Get a life. Get a life.
I've never been called a gay Mexican Italian. I'm kind of on.
I know. I'm the Italian cat up here. By the way, homie, Mike Vela is commenting. I'm getting the hair like you, Cody. It's getting long. He calls me the silver fox. Yes, I had my first gray hair when I was in 8th grade. 8th grade, this girl named Alexis Blake picked it out. She plucked it, and I swear 5 grew in its place.
Dude, I'm picking them all the time from my beard, from my head. Dude, I've resigned myself to the fact that in a year or 2 I'll probably look like Jeff Bridges.
Okay, so I was going to say one other thing is about what about Will Greer? Is he even?
What about Will Greer?
Yeah, I'm just.
Have you heard his name one time through anything going on, like even a prospect of something in the future? He's done. It was a wasted draft pick.
Yeah, we said it that year. All right, let's go to the next call. Let's see what you guys got to say. I think we're on this one.
Hey, what's up, C3 Podcast? It's Run DMC Lovato.
What up, Tyler?
I got a question to ask you guys tonight about some position battles.
Sorry about your grandfather, by the way.
It'd be pretty interesting, and I just wanted to see what you guys think. I think the biggest position battles has to be on probably both of the guard spots on offense. Everything else is pretty much set in stone, I think, on offense. Besides both of the guard spots, you got both your tackles set in Moten and Okung, and you got your center set in Paradis. But it's going to be interesting in the guards. I really want Dennis Daly to start. I think this dude I think he might be a late round. I don't want to say gem, but I think he can be a quality starter if he gets an actual opportunity. I mean, he played pretty well at swinging tackle for us last year, and I really hope he gets a chance to earn one of those guard spots. But I was wondering what you guys think. Is it going to be Michael Schofield or the John? I think his name is John Reed or whatever the guy's name is that we got from Cincinnati. I forgot his name. Or do you think it could possibly be Greg Little? He might swing from tackle to guard and hopefully enter spots there. I was just wondering what you guys thought on that. And on defense, oh my God, I mean, we can go on and on about the defense. I don't know who the fuck's going to start at the third linebacker spot. I think Tahir Whitehead's probably going to start in the middle.
He's got to. Oh, wait, in the middle? You don't think Shaq's going to move the middle?
Shit, I forgot the guy's name. 58. I'm running a blank right now.
No, I don't think so.
Shaq Thomas. Oh my God.
Thompson. Got you, Tyler. I got you back.
Shaq Thompson. Jesus. But I have no idea who I think's going to start in the third linebacker spot. Honestly, I don't think we're going to use three linebackers. We'll probably use a slot corner mostly.
I think you're right. But we don't have any good, we don't have enough.
On that? And what are your most interesting position battles you guys think will be on the team? That's all I got for EC3 amount.
All right, so my interesting position battle, and I think I actually have let me see if I got something that maybe not, is I think looking at Stephen Weatherly and F.A. Obata, these two. Have you seen F.A. Obata, the pictures of him working out?
Yeah, apparently, I don't know
he's big as fuck now, dude.
Yeah, it's reported that he gained around 15 pounds. So to answer our caller's question, that was Tyler, right?
Yeah, that was Tyler. Run.
Yeah, to answer his question, I think a good battle to watch is going to be between F.A. Obata and Yatur Gross-Matos or Gross-Matos or whatever the fuck Tony wants to call him.
What is it? Is YGM? Yatur Gross? Yeah, YGM.
So I think that's going to be a good battle. F.A. Obata has been working hard, put on 15 pounds of muscle. And that also says to me that the rumors and all of the information that said we were converting back to a 4-3 defense, that holds a lot more credence now because you want a lot more weight and functional play strength to be able to set a physical edge in a 4-3 base. So, yeah, I think we're going to have some interesting battles. What's the guy that we picked up from Minnesota?
Stephen Weatherly.
Weatherly. Yeah, I think the defensive end position is going to be really interesting.
Especially with no Christian Miller right there, because now I think Weatherly's going to be a starter. Right now, it's kind of strange. Some of the things that we thought were I think that Weatherly could be a starter. I think that it's going to be Eli Apple and Dante Jackson starting at corner on this team. And I wouldn't be surprised. Who are we going to get? I mean, I don't even know if there are position battle. Every position, except for on offense, is a position battle.
I mean, how about this? Why don't we all name off the positions where we don't think there's a battle?
Quarterback.
Running
back. Wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Yeah.
Tight end.
Tight end. Yeah, because there's only one. Linebacker. because there's not enough. There's not enough.
Yeah.
No real battles.
Defensive tackle.
Cornerback, really? I mean, is there a
Center.
battle at cornerback?
No, I mean I don't think so. Who would it be? Who would it be?
Yeah.
It would be. It can't be the Prince guy or whatever.
Maybe the nickel or safety position.
That's what I was thinking.
Because we have Jeremy Chin now. Justin Burris is on the football team.
All right. Yeah, it's safety.
Yeah, safety. So what about corner? Are we all kind of content with saying that our starting two are Eli Apple and Dante Jackson? Are we pretty?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see Corn Elder making a big push right there. Let me see who else we got at DB. Cole Luke. I feel like that dude's always on this fucking team, man. Like he's never gonna play. Troy Pride. I don't think he'll be a starter. I think if somebody gets hurt, he might be a guy that comes in. Cornerback Stanley Thomas Oliver III. Another guy that might contribute rotationally, but I don't think he's going to come in. And that's like it, dude. It's like the whole team.
I'm not going to lie, though. Those are superhero names. Troy Pride and Thomas Oliver III.
They are.
That screams superhero right there. I don't know. You might have something.
I got a little sound clip. Here's Stephen Weatherly on the defense right here talking to the media.
Sports Hub Triumph. On that note, you dealt with terrific pass rushers at Minnesota, and you had Linval in the middle of that D line. So I'm just interested, what have you seen, your early observations of Burns on the edge, Yatur, and the other young guy on that D line, Derek Brown?
I see very similar freakish style abilities in regards to body awareness and body control that D has back in Minnesota, in regards to speaking of Burns. Right, and so he very much knows how to use his body, how to position his body to get past the tackle for pass rush. In the run game, he may not look overly big, but he's very strong, very confident, and plays behind his hands. So he sets good edges. And then DB Derek Brown, he's big. Like I'm big, but he's big, and he does not move like he's big. Which is always a great thing. So once again, learning how one another plays, that's what's going to determine how well we play as a defense, because we definitely have pieces. Believe that.
Believe that. That is Stephen Weatherly, who I think is going to could be a guy that I think we should be excited about. He's on a played in Minnesota where it's just hard to leapfrog all pro players. Right, and you know what? One person they did not mention at all, and this kind of a little concerning to me, is KK. Why aren't we talking about KK being a big leader on this defense, coming back off an injury? He's going to be a big productive producer in the middle.
I'm worried he's trade bait.
Thanks. How when he was hurt?
It makes sense. Why not? They've dumped everybody else.
Yeah. And I don't mind it either, especially.
And he's like 30 right now.
Especially if it starts to go bad. If our season starts to go bad soon, trade him out, man. That's another pick in the draft.
What do you want?
He's already 31 years old. Can you believe that? He's like the oldest. Is he the oldest player on the team? Hold on. I'm going to find it.
What's KK worth to y'all?
Trey's probably close, if nothing else. No, Trey's not that old, is he?
I would hope to get
Russell Okung and KK. Russell Okung, KK, Matt Paradis. Matt Paradis is 30, so we got two. That's it. Oh, Whitehead is 30. KK's the oldest dude on the team. How is that even possible? And how is Jason Ferris on injured reserve? Joe Dirt on injured reserve. You guys got to go look.
Joe Dirt?
God, you got to look up my man's name.
I suck, Joe.
Jordan Mack opted out, linebacker Christian Miller. Yeah, he's the oldest player on our team.
But also, Tony, can I just say this? Like, Luke Kuechly, in my opinion, and then in the opinion of a lot of people, was never a vocal leader. Was never the rah, let's go fucking kick their ass. Like, that's never been his
KK
kind of
either.
thing. And in that same light, K1 Short is not either. And I think that maybe we kind of hold it against him doubly because we've expected so much more from him, because we haven't heard from him in a while. He's supposed to be the best pass rusher on our football team. So, we're expecting a lot from him. I don't necessarily know that there's anything that he can do right now. It's training camp. Everyone's giving the superficial interviews, like Greg talks about. That kind of talking about nothing, just saying stuff to fill the time. That's what everyone's doing right now.
Yeah.
So
It's just so pointless.
Dude, I cannot wait until this season. We're going to have to play some sort of game while we're watching the game to, can you name that player? If you look at the roster, I don't know. It's so crazy.
It's a totally different team, man.
It's crazy, man. I've never seen a roster turnover like this before. It's a great purge, and maybe it will work out for the best. Do you think that Graham Gano reunites with Rivera for a second stint with the Redskins? He was a Redskin before.
Correction.
That's the Washington football team.
Yeah,
not the Redskins.
Washington football team, man.
Oh,
Come on
that's
now.
right.
I'm so offended.
I don't think that's a bad move either. I think calling them just straight Washington is a solid. I think they should just keep that.
Yeah, Washington. Yeah.
Just Washington.
Hey, I just threw a bet out to Rich in the chat room. Says that because he says nobody can beat the Chiefs. I put $20 down right now, saying the Chiefs lose a game next year.
He just said to lose 2 games.
Yeah, he changed it. I thought nobody could beat him, but he said nobody in the NFC. How about this? They will lose an NFC game next year. I'll put $20 down right now. The Chiefs will lose an NFC game.
I think Seattle.
I think he said. Now he's saying 12 wins or less. Then we can talk. Now he's going to 4 losses.
Oh,
Rich Kendall is drunk off his ass, bro.
It's all good.
If he made a deal with you, he's not remembering this shit tonight. Come on.
Rich, we've been dealing. We got dealt the bandwagon fan in 2015 from every team, every fan on every team.
Yeah.
So I know what you're going through, my guy. But the reality of the situation is the Chiefs have been good for a while, even beyond Mahomes. So I'm not going to call anybody if you haven't been a bandwagon before Mahomes, then you're not a bandwagon fan.
Look, you should be very excited about the Chiefs. Right now, there is no reason to think that they should be any worse than they, any worse than they were last year.
Yeah.
And they were great last year, obviously. Is that you also have to think about, what is the quarter. We've seen this, it's just how long can you sustain? Injuries can derail any team. The team I think is going to be really good this year is Seattle. Jamal Adams,
really I agree.
Joe Riolano told me this, and I trust Joe's instincts when he just gauges people, just eyeball tests. And he said Jamal Adams is better than Cam Chancellor, bro. I think those words were, or he intimated he was just, and I trust that. That is going to be.
I agree with Joe. I think he's one of the best players in the NFL. If you look at what Seattle is known for, and that Legion of Boom and Pete Carroll, Brett Coleman did a great video that talked about how much Jamal Adams is a cerebral player who did a lot of the things for the Jets that Luke Kuechly did for the Panthers, except for he did it at the safety position. Jamal Adams is incredible. No, I agree. The Seahawks are going to be a great football team. But, hey, I just want to take a second to shame people. We have 37 people in the chat room right now, and only 15 thumbs up. Step your game up, son.
Smash it.
That like button.
And I'm paying more attention to the chat room than I am the conversation. So.
I do have a question, though. Yeah. I have a question just out of curiosity. Rich, I know you're in here and you're a Kansas fan. Are you that worried about the Panthers that you're watching our podcast?
No, he likes us. He's trying. Look, it's like one of those things. He's got a secret. It's a secret attraction.
Are we your NFC team? Because I think we all have like a secret AFC team that we like.
Oh yeah,
NFC
definitely.
team.
Definitely, yeah. And the thing is too, I don't.
Are we your Mr. Unlimited?
He hasn't been rude. He hasn't been offensive.
Oh, heck no. No.
I'm having good fun with him. I just
what
want
do
you to know that
he hasn't been rude? Yes, he's been nothing but rude.
No,
he did call Cody.
He called Cody a gay Mexican Italian.
Okay, I missed that. Yeah, okay, that is rude.
And 2 weeks ago, he was.
How dare you insinuate that I'm Italian, bro?
And 2 weeks ago, he said, "What's up with Cody's shoulders? Is he in a wheelchair?" Or something? Like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Did I tell you this shit? Did I tell you the shit about my wife's friend? She was watching this movie, and I might have said it in the same podcast 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. My friend was telling me this, is that they were watching a movie with some friends, like two couples, and it was like a deaf person talking in the movie or something, and you know, that muddled kind of voice. And she was like, "This is so funny." And then she made like an impression about it. And she's like, "I just can't help it. I know it's wrong. I laugh every time." And like the other people got real quiet. And turned out the other chick's mom was deaf. And my friend, when he told me this story, he said, "Needless to say, we never hung out with them again." Oh, okay.
Rich Kendall said, "Get up out of your chair and clap." Hey, why don't you sit on my lap and we'll see what pops up?
Hey. Next call, 252-228-5098. Smash the thumbs up button. And if you're Rich Kendall, smash the thumbs down button, because guess what? YouTube does not differentiate between thumbs up and thumbs down. They're just reactions. So if there was like a middle finger button, you could hit that and it would still help our podcast.
We feed off your hatred, pussy.
Damn. Family. Let's,
hold on. Need to.
Let's start out with a shout out to my boys. Tony, watch out for Teddy B's D. Cody, slacking or lacking lax. C to the mother effing K with the crazy KD on COD. And Greg, the legendary Million Podcast Man. What's up, boys?
Yeah, what's up, Mike, man?
What a great call already.
Long-time listener. Keep doing your thing. Panthers fans, we appreciate y'all. So, here's what I want to talk about. In my opinion, we've never had a true strong safety since Mike hit you like winner minner.
Amen.
It's honestly been our weakest position, you know, with the couple flash in the pans like Mike Mitchell.
Yep.
He was pretty good for us. I think that problem's coming to a resolution now. With Jeremy busting you in the chin. I'm really excited about him. I think he's quite comparable to Cam Chancellor back when he was the Seahawk. You know, they're pretty similar. Big 6'3" frame. Their college stats are quite comparable too, if you look at that. And I'm really looking forward to him as a boost to that secondary, which has honestly been our weakest point, you know, this past decade or so. So I think paired with Trey Boston, he'd be a big upgrade with that revamped line. I see big things coming for that defense, like always, because we play the D down in the C. All right, so just watch out. I think Rule can coach those boys up and make some things happen. So tell me your thoughts on that. And Panther Pride till I die. Let me try this out for Joey the Blind Panther. Wow, wow, wow.
What a great call. Did he say that was his first call?
Well, and that caller is in a chat room right now. Supreme Leader says leader said that's my call, guys. Thanks for listening to my call. Much love, C3. Hell yeah, man. That was a great call, man.
You know what's great about that call is, you know, homeboy listens to the podcast.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Is that really he dropped all the stuff, like a lot of layers to that. And going even back to something that we've used to talk, you know, is that we've never had a strong safety. I think it's a good point. And Panthers FSU said this is basically Tony sitting here talking about Jamal, Cam Chancellor, and no mention of Chin. And is it chin or shin? Chin or shin? We don't know. But either way, bust this mug on the chin. That's, you know what, is that Supreme Leader may have given us our T-shirt for the year. It's like
chin check.
Yeah.
Chin check.
Chin check.
Oh, I like that.
Bro,
chin check.
Dog, you just got chin check, bro.
Yep. I mean, what is it? What's the snap thing that they put, the chin strap? That's the chin. Yep. You better tighten that chin strap, boy, because chin check. You just got chin check.
Tighten that chin strap because you're about to get chin check, dog. That's what it is, man. Hey, I shared that same enthusiasm. Jeremy Chin was one of my top evaluated players.
You have loved him, dude. You've loved him the whole time.
I loved it, man. He jumped off the film. The guy is a physical freak of nature.
Yeah.
And I think he's a real contender to be a day one starter. I mean, that guy is going to be able to do a lot in our defense. And, me and Greg really wanted to draft Isaiah Simmons instead of Derek Brown, right? But now when you look at it, Jeremy Chin is kind of like a different version of Isaiah Simmons. So in a way, it's kind of like we got the best of both worlds. We have a defense that is uniquely set up to complement each other. And that's exciting for the future of our defense.
Yeah.
Rich, what's the call number? Look on the screen. It's only posted all over the screen.
He's about to call in and cuss it out.
Good.
Keyboard warrior right here. He's about to call in and
That's good.
cuss us out.
That's good. It's all right. I'll play it, homie. I'll play it.
He says PM me, dude. I'm not gonna PM you, man. Seriously, I'm not trying to fight with you. I was trying to be nice to you. If
you even said you weren't even rude.
Go sit on a dick, dude. Seriously, I haven't said anything bad about you, for real.
How did PM on Twitter? I mean, on YouTube. Like, we're not on Facebook or Twitter.
What are you sliding in my DM? Like, he's in my Instagram.
This
my man wants
obviously hurt, man.
Okay.
He's obviously hurt.
I like the chin check, the chin checker, microphone wrecker, chin checker. Right? That's going to be good, and we do need a solution there. The question is he good? Like, it's just all right. 2 questions about Jeremy Chin. All right. One is that and I think this is that
numbers, Rich. Sorry.
There's 2 numbers. Yes, they're the same fucking number twice.
The 2 numbers are the same.
Okay. Call the second one. Call the second one.
He was making fun of me for being a handicap, but I guarantee you this dude rode the short bus. That's a
okay, so even Greg's dog is crying over this.
Laughing his ass off, dude.
So, all right, questions about Chen is that the same ones that come up with Isaiah Simmons. A lot of people have said this is that the multiple sometimes doesn't work out, right? It's like being and so, we've seen, you could almost say Shaq Thompson was a little bit of this. That hybrid player that we were trying to figure out exactly what was going on, right? But they committed him to linebacker. I don't think the multiple question is as big. The hybrid player is as big as a deal. Maybe it used to be like 10 years ago or something. So I'm not worried about. The other one is this: is it did come from a small school, right? And I know is that like, oh well, look, you could say James Bradbury came from a small school, but so did. What was Fua? Who was the guy that stupid guard that we took? Or we've taken a couple of small guys on defensive line and offensive line that were, that didn't work out. And the only question I have about this is that sometimes guys, when they play against inferior competition, look really, really good.
Yeah.
So these are. I think I'm excited about it. I'm not worried about it. I think I think they saw something they really liked, and I really hope he is. We need an answer to that. It would be nice if we had. Do you remember when Mike Mitchell was back there just laying the wood on Muggs? The one thing is Mike Mitchell wasn't the best safety, but he was a thumper. And Amini, Amini Solatulu, and Sio Fua. These are the 2 guys that are talking about. Great call there. Great call. Keep it up, man. Thanks for being a supporter of the podcast. We appreciate that. Smash the thumbs up button. Smash the thumbs down button. Kick this guy in the balls. I don't give a fuck. Next call.
All right.
What's up, guys? So yeah, back in Charlotte, I still celebrated hard.
This is Joey the Blind Panther. You want to maybe make fun of her that he can't see?
She came to visit me, but we were sitting in my room talking last night, and I basically, was thinking, which is dangerous, that, because that tropical storm, Tarboro, apparently, according to her, always catches a hurricane. It's like, but it got me thinking that, like, the Outer Banks were the starting offensive line for the mainland, and the mainland is the quarterback.
Where are you going with this?
It protects from hurricanes and all that stuff, which happens every year. And then the mountains were, like, second stringers because landslides almost never happen. So they don't.
Joey, he smoked a big fatty and then made this call.
So which player? Okay, so like pick an island, like one of the barrier islands on the Outer Banks.
All right, who's Ocracoke?
And which Panthers player does that island compare to?
There's no way I can answer this.
Because I'm fucking jack.
I've lost. I've lost.
Yeah, I've lost. There's too much math. It sounds like math. It's messing me up.
Fuck that shit. I'll need like a 12-pack of Coronas to be sane after that. But anyway, you know how it is.
Joey.
Wow.
Oh,
that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to
All right. Here it comes for another round 2.
Sorry about that.
If we were hold on. This is what I got for you. If we were talking about terra firma and the layers of the earth, who would be the core, the mantle, and the crust of the defense? Okay. Sorry, Joey. We're just teasing, Joey. You the man.
My dad needed to come in my room and tell me something. I'm still racking in the big prizes. I just got sent a $50 gift card to Outback. So,
nice.
I want y'all to play this call whenever y'all are getting ready. Tony, make sure you have a beer and a bottle opener or a beer open ready to start the show. Make sure your dumbass mic is unmuted.
Oh.
Make sure Cody's mic is unmuted.
True. All true statements. Now he's making sense.
And if you can, because I know technology's a fucking asshole, make sure you got the audio straight so we can actually start at 9 p.m. tonight. Okay? Good. Wow.
Let's see. Does he come back for a third? I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay. I'm going to have to ice somebody up. And who is that I have to ice up, you ask? Well, none other than Tony Dunn, who is probably going to be drunk by the time we do Ice Up Picks.
I haven't drank in 3 days. I was in Key West, bro. I drank for 7 days straight.
Although you did say that it was your vacation week, Tony, use your fucking community tab. Because there's, like, no indication that y'all are going live, and it's probably 9 p.m. There's nothing on the community tab about it, and how the hell are we supposed to know this? So, to you, Tony, ice up, son.
Fair enough. I get slack on the communication part. My wife gives me shit about this all the time. Poor communicator. That's why I went into podcasting, because I'm a poor communicator. No. Yeah, is that I did drop the ball, but in fairness, we did mention 2 weeks ago, likely no show. Next call.
Hey, this is Carl. I ain't called in a while, but I'm trying to promote my buddy's Panther hype song. I know you guys have been doing some freestyle rap and stuff like that. So this is my buddy's Panther hype song. I hope it plays through these city speakers. I think it's all right.
Uh-oh.
The anticipation.
Mm-hmm. What kills you?
Are we supposed to be hearing it?
Definitely not hearing it.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it.
Nope. No song. Sorry, bro. No song. Next call.
Hey guys, Joey here.
Joey's back. All right, Joey. There's too many Joey calls. We got to move on. All right. Here we go. Let's see, because we got to get to
Rich's. We got to get to Rich's.
Yeah, we're getting. But I'm doing them in order. He's the last call. He's got to wait his fucking turn. I know he's impatient.
But we didn't answer, Tony. We didn't answer when he called. He says, "Come on."
Oh.
We need to hurry up. We need to hurry up and listen to his so that we can ban him.
More of a story to tell.
Guys. All right. Here it comes. Here it goes. Let's see. This guy says we're harassing. I can read the transcript. Let's see what he's got to say.
This better be worth it.
It's Richard. You guys were harassing me that I should call in on the number. So I called it.
Which one? First number or second number?
I'm sorry, Betty. You don't got much hope in the NFC. AFC.
We never said we did.
They're gonna
So
win.
why aren't you watching a Panthers podcast?
The 49ers don't stand a chance.
They did. They almost beat you guys.
49ers don't stand a chance.
Nobody
Okay.
does. The Buccaneers, what the fuck? An old ass Tom Brady, what the fuck?
Don't think anybody said the Buccaneers should do a chance. Yeah, once
This
again.
is gonna be.
He's
whether
called 4
Kansas
times.
City can beat Baltimore. That's what it is.
Baltimore.
Okay, so I called in.
This dude's clearly drunk as hell.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's messed up.
You know what his call reminds me of? It's like it's this.
911
It reminds me of something like this. Hold on. I hope there's no ad on this.
Guys, Russell here.
Hey, Russ.
Yes, the typical boring. Yes, Russell, the robot Russell, the one you guys love to know. Real exciting. You know, I'm real exciting. But anyways, everybody has to have an alter ego.
Do they?
Right? And I've been thinking about what my alter ego would be, and I think I have an alter ego. His name's Mr. Unlimited.
What is this?
You gotta be unlimited. You know, you gotta have a thought process of being unlimited.
Please stop saying that.
So when people ask you what you're thinking about or what you want to do in life or where you want to go, you gotta be unlimited. Tell them, I'm unlimited.
I wish you were limited.
You know what I mean? So when they ask you certain questions like,
What brings you motivation, Russell?
Ciara, please don't help him with this.
Mr. Unlimited.
That is what listening to your calls like.
Don't say unlimited.
Unlimited.
Who's your go-to person for advice, Russell?
They think Pete Carroll, they think this person, think that person. Love you, Pete.
Hey,
But
what is
it's
this
Mr.
shit am I listening?
Unlimited.
You have not heard this?
No,
What
I
is
haven't heard
this?
this. What the hell is this?
How have you guys missed this crap? Oh my gosh, this is that's Russell Wilson. That's Russell Wilson.
Like, what is it?
It's like he just was like, I want to talk to you guys today, and I know I'm bored. And he's like, so this is like how I'm cool. And he's like, when I think about myself, it's his alter ego, unlimited. He's such a fucking dork, dude.
Does he think? I think Rich thinks he's listening to a Jaguars podcast.
Well, technically it is because the Panthers
Is it? Yeah, same, yeah.
Yep. There you go.
I mean, you're also listening to a cat podcast.
I thought this was the Tiger King. My bad, guys.
I thought they were going to talk about that there Joe Exotic or something, but they just kept talking about football. I don't understand that.
I'm so confused as what he's trying to say here because I'm thinking this guy is about to just. I think we might need to call an ambulance, and
He's
got
pissed.
some stuff going on.
He's gonna have an aneurysm because look, yes, he came back for more. Let's see what you got.
He said he's called 4 times.
Well, you have to leave a fucking message, dude.
Right.
Like, just to let you know. Hold on.
Yeah, I've called 4 times.
And you haven't answered the phone?
I plan on calling more.
Good. We're ready. This is the best part of the podcast.
How's it gonna work?
What's this?
It's actually kind of funny. You know?
What's this shit called where you leave a message and people
God,
listen to it later?
When did that technology come
I
out?
wonder if it feels bad if a dude in a wheelchair is the one calling you a retard.
How about this?
He sounds kind.
I think he's inebriated. Hey,
Yeah,
Rich,
I think he's highly intoxicated.
Here,
Rich, go ahead. Send us your email. We'll send you a transcript of these calls so you can see what you did in the morning.
Guess what you
Could
could also do? You could call.
Limited.
Who's your go-to person?
You can call as many times as you want.
Girl, they think this person, think that person. Love you, Pete, but it's Mr. Unlimited. Tell him.
What a dork!
The
All right.
dude still thinks we take live calls.
Listen, listen. We need to get back on track a minute because there's something I wanted to ask all three of you about, and I'm surprised that we haven't talked about it yet. Russell Okung. So did we hear this story about Russell Okung? How that it came out that he was close to opting out, and
we
then
talked
they were
about it
saying,
earlier in the show.
Yeah, but I feel like we didn't touch on it enough because it goes back to one of the things that I have been staunch on, just like I was dying on that hill to fire Ron Rivera. If Russell Okung doesn't play this season, it validates everything I've ever said about Martin Hernan, in my opinion. We would have traded away Trey Turner for a player that potentially might not even play at all. Okay, are we? And then he put out that thing and was saying, that it wasn't true, or someone spoke up for him. Where do we all land right now? Is Russell Okung really gonna play this season? Is it actually gonna happen, or is this some kind of dumb Twitter?
He has to play. He's gonna make $13 million. Why wouldn't you play?
That doesn't mean he has to play. There are plenty of players who sat out there are going to make a lot of money.
And apparently, all the COVID aftermath, it hurts people with heart conditions, and the dude had a heart condition, so apparently that's why he was going to opt out or whatever. So I don't know. What's he going to do?
Rich, call again. I'll answer your call live. Yeah, just go ahead. You can call an unlimited amount of times. Dude, we can't. Yeah. We don't take live calls. You leave a message and then we respond. It's the way it works. Right. It's not a live show. Unfortunately, did you not hear Joey the Blind Panther making fun of Tony's technical ability when it comes to streaming? We're just lucky we're here fucking being able to banter back and forth with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? I mean, I'll be right back. And we will do it unlimited. All right. So, what are your thoughts on that, Cody? How about that? You brought it up. You tell us what you think.
Yeah, I just think that it would be so par for the course that we trade away a Pro Bowl player in return for a player that might not see the field at all. I don't know, man. It's, again, you can't blame Marty Hernandez for not knowing that a pandemic would break out. But I don't know, man. It's just, it would be the most Panther thing ever if at a point in time where our offensive line is in its most questionable position, that now our left tackle might be out for the season too.
Well, great news. We're very used to this. Is that I almost feel like we could go 4 on the offensive line and have the same success that we've had in the past because our left tackles have been turnstiles, bro.
Yeah, but now we don't have a quarterback that can make magic out of nothing. So
have you not seen? Well, he doesn't need to make magic out of nothing. He makes magic out of that big old.
Yeah, but we're not talking about porn, though. That's what I'm saying.
We're not talking about live calls and porn and.
I mean, we could
Joe
probably
Exotic.
talk about. Listen, Rich Kendall is drunk enough to talk about porn, but. I'm not drunk enough to talk about
Whiskey
porn.
Dick. Whiskey Dick, Rich Kendall.
Know about the kind of porn I watch, so let's not talk about it.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. All right, so Joey Blind Panther says, get to the calls from this week instead of him railing against me last week. All right, we're going back, Joey.
Hey guys, Joey here. Sorry I'm late. I was out at dinner. But I saw a comment from Moneybags in the chat about, do you really want to win 7 games? I know this is going to get Cody started, but entertain me here for a minute.
Yeah, man.
So, in light of Big Ten being canceled, and now what y'all were saying about Pac-12, if there's no college football, do you still want to tank? Because I don't know if we're going to have a draft this year. I think Matt Rule can coach this current team up. Honestly, I do. Because remember when he went to Baylor, Baylor was in exile. Baylor, no one wanted to go to Baylor because you said, "Oh, I think I want to go to Baylor." Your counselors and your teachers and your friends and your parents, fucking homeless dude on the street is looking at you like, "Are you out of your damn mind?" So Matt Rule had to deal with that, and I think that that's going to help him, and I really don't think we need to tank this year. Yeah, it would be great to have Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, it would be great to have Justin Fields, but 2020 or 2021 is not the year God stopped making quarterbacks. So that's my thought. I think we ought to just try to develop.
Have you not seen how this year has gone so far, Joe? Oh.
Well, maybe then we'll entertain that situation, but Matt Rule is at least vaguely familiar with Teddy Bridgewater, or really Joe Brady, but I think we're fine. You know? And yes, now you can go off Cody, but first, wow.
All right.
Nice. I love it.
Going back to the terra firma call earlier in Okung Island, have we not seen how 2020 has rolled so far? We had a fucking earthquake and COVID and a hurricane, all in the same week in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel that, by the way? I don't live that, and I was in Key West, so it didn't matter.
I was too far away. I didn't feel anything here. Apparently, Charlotte did experience some, but I slept right through that shit, and I didn't feel nothing.
There were people in Raleigh that said they felt it, but I didn't feel anything.
People here in Roanoke, Virginia said they felt it.
Really?
Yeah, it was right on the Sparta, North Carolina is very close to Virginia and Tennessee. So, yeah, but I'll say this, man. Listen, I've never believed that tanking is an active process that teams attempt to do. I have no doubt in my mind that the Carolina Panthers are going to go into this season trying to be the best football team that they can possibly be. What I was saying is that when you look at everything that we have to overcome, brand new head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, a really young roster, a very questionable offensive line, a brand new quarterback learning a brand new offensive system. There are a lot of cards that are stacked against us right now.
You're building that case. Sorry, go ahead.
But it's not.
You're building that case. I'll comment.
Joey asked, is it that it might not be a good time to tank if no one's going to play college football because those players might decide to go back for 2021. So what I am saying is that, if the Panthers have the worst pick in the draft, or the best pick in the draft, the first pick, we're going to draft a quarterback. Listen, you have to think about Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. Let's say they cancel football in another day or two. They are a few days away from signing multi-million-dollar endorsement deals already a year ahead of time. They're able to sign an agent. They're able to start the process of being an NFL player and start to make money off their name right now. So in my mind, there's too much money on the table to even worry about that right now. I would not worry about Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields not being available in the draft. I'm almost betting that they will be available in the draft, but I don't know.
I have two comments about this call that I want to talk about. One tags back to what you're talking about here, Cody, and what we were talking about earlier in the show about there not being college football this year and the way it could affect the NFL. I want to ask y'all, the NFL is going to run games. Do you think what was the league that came out last year? The AFL that failed?
Yeah, American Alliance, AAF.
Yeah, AAF. Okay, or the XFL. The XFL still has plans, I think, to come out. Do you think that if they're
done forever now?
Well, I'm saying they didn't plan to come out till next year anyway. I don't think. Like that was their goal was next year.
They played this year.
Yeah. So, but if they can come out with the XFL similar to the NFL where they can run football and college football is not there, do you think the XFL steps in as a kind of pseudo replacement for talent to come into the NFL?
It depends on the player,
Yeah.
first and foremost. So, like, if you're Trevor Lawrence, you don't need to play another snap of football. I mean, as of right now, if they're drafting, you're pretty much the number one pick. So for some players, yes. So like if you're a player who is maybe had a 5th or 6th round grade, and then there's no college football. I mean, look at all the incredible. I mean, we're talking about the Big Ten and the Pac-12. There are some big time players and schools in those. I mean, we're talking Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Oregon, a bunch of big time places. So a lot of those players are either probably going to look to transfer in the next few days, or maybe the XFL is a legitimate alternative to them. I don't know that there's enough infrastructure right now for the XFL to be seen as a viable alternative, though.
Okay. They're done. The XFL is closed for business forever. They're done.
Well, you saw the Rock bought it, though.
Oh, really? No, I did not see that.
Yeah, Andrew Rock Johnson purchased the XFL.
Okay. Did not.
Dude,
I missed that
he could
one.
make that a success.
He could. He could be the president. Are you kidding me?
And a starting defensive end. Didn't he used to play football?
I'm going to buy the XFL, and I'm going to be the defensive end on every team.
Yeah. And then make a bunch of cheesy-ass movies about it.
Apparently, he was very bad at football. At the University of Miami, they were like, yeah, he's buff, but on the field, he ain't shit.
He wasn't nearly the athlete of the size he is when he was younger either.
Yeah, but he went to wrestling.
He grew into it. Yeah, exactly.
All right, let me go ahead.
Real quick, second part of that question, I wanted to comment on what Cody was saying. Cody, I'm not going to let you sit here and build excuses for Rule. I'm sorry, dude. You were all about Ron going. Rule's in. You got to be all in on him. I'm not going to let you build excuses of he has this new team and new offensive coordinator, new players, a new scheme. He chose all that. When he came in, he could have had Cam Newton and the team that he came in last year, and he would have been the only one that had to adjust.
Even if he had those, I don't think we expected all that. Well, I don't think we expected him to be successful when he came in for the first season. I don't think, even with Cam Newton at the helm, I don't think we were thinking.
I just don't want excuses built for him.
I would say I'm still a bigger believer in Matt Rule than I think you are, probably. Like, I think my plans for Matt Rule is a long-term plan. I think over time, Matt Rule is going to be a badass head coach. I don't expect him to be that in year one. That's all I'm saying.
The main thing is, if we miss tackles next year, I want to make sure you blame that on Matt Rule.
So
only it's you. I want to make sure if we miss tackles next year, you blame that on Matt Rule.
Every missed tackle is a result of Matt Rule
not coaching properly,
field, knocking them out of 100%.
Not coaching properly. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
All right, let's go because Joey the Blind Panther fan we got your back. You got our back. Joey, we got your back. Here you go.
Hey guys, Joey again. So I just saw a comment in the chat that says we're gonna have $60 million in cap next year, but I don't know why people keep saying that when players opt out, they keep saying that because it just rolls over into next year's cap. So unless we cut them, unless they opt out, give them $150K and then cut them. I mean, how do we have that cap space? We're gonna have to pay them next year
because we haven't had anybody opt out though. Really,
contract. I mean.
No, I don't think we're talking about from opt-out thing,
though. They're not on our books. Yeah, not this year. They're on next year. So, how are we going to sign people?
We're going to have more money next year than we ever knew, except for it'll be the 1 year that the cap gets shrunk.
Outback, but I only had one. Unlike Tony, who has 3, and by the end of the show, drunk out of his.
Dude, I have 3 usually by 9:30.
Wow. Oh, by the way, you don't get last week's call. Ice up Tony for not using his community tab to tell us his ass is going on vacation.
Okay.
I love that our viewers love us enough to just roast the fuck out of us.
Right.
Like that's a real love right there. That's how you know they really fucks with us 100%.
And
That's a
they also know that we don't get all butthurt over it.
No.
You know,
You
like
can-
I haven't
you
even
can make
muted
all
this
the
Rich
jokes you
Kendall
want, dude.
guy yet. Even though people in the chat room have been saying kick him out, like, you know, I don't even care.
No.
Like, don't
I could
worry.
have banned him. I could have banned him forever ago. But dude, I don't care. I make more cripple jokes than anybody, dude. I'm into it. You can make me laugh.
I would say that it is really tacky to make jokes about people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and let me tell you something, Rich, is that I know at some point you ejaculated. And if that girl made fun of you, it would have hurt your feelings. We know. And she probably did. She's laughing at it right now. Okay.
Hey, wait. Don't compare me with anything premature, bro. And shit about this dude premature.
No, I'm talking about Rich Kendall.
No, I know, but he was like making fun of me for being in the wheelchair. Is like
yeah.
making fun of the guy for
Yeah,
shooting.
you're right.
Yeah.
Hey. All right. I think that's really it. I don't know what else to talk about. That's it. We got to ice some mugs up, though, right? Rich, the whole world, the whole chat room just said ice up to you. And this is the point of the show where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up, to get it together, right? It's our homage to Steve Smith, where he told that guy that I always call Talib Kweli, Aqib Talib, ice up, toughen up to get it better. Everybody's fair game. Rich is fair game. And he's from Oklahoma, right? I have iced up an 8-year-old child from Oklahoma on this podcast before. So everything's fair game. Mine's a nerdy one. I'm going to stick with the COD ice up. And I need to get your feedback on this, CK. The recent player tab, right? You finish a game.
Yes.
You go over and you hit recent players. How in the world is it possible to make it worse than it was?
I haven't looked at it in so long. What does it do now?
Well, it was working it started to work a little bit better with the new season 5, but you remember how you used to have to scroll and scroll and scroll and you couldn't ever find anybody? So now they had this new thing where it was like it like was constantly recycling the people, and if you had to wait a while, you waited like 5 minutes or 3 minutes, and all of a sudden the people you were just playing with were right at the top. It was super easy. Today, none of it worked. And so for people like us who are trying to get like some consistency, play with a couple of people that have some comms, play with some people that we seem to have a decent kind of, you know, chemistry on the game, and you can't even add nobody. I'm wondering, like, are they trying to keep people from like just keeping squads rolling so they're not just like dominating the game? So the recent player tab on Call of Duty, I ice that up. I also ice up all dreams that come with quitting smoking. I think it's almost like a month now. How long's it been? I don't know. You guys probably know better than I do. It's over 3 weeks. I know it's over 3 weeks. I still dream about, and I wasn't even that like hardcore of a smoker for that. Like I like wake up in the morning. I'm like, I think I cheated. I think I smoked a cigarette. Like I have these dreams about smoking and I feel like I smoked a cigarette. And I also, and it's crazy. I had a dream last night that Donald Trump was eating barbecue at my family barbecue with my least favorite family members. Donald Trump and me and my least favorite family members. Rich Kendall's going to be in my dream before you know it. It's over. Ice up to all that shit. Don't start smoking. It sucks. And I haven't, and it's getting easier. It's getting easier. I'm quitting smoking. No cheating. That's it.
Good for you, brother.
I'm proud of you, man. Real talk, dude. I know it's hard, man. And that's commendable, dude.
See, I have failed. I know that I've been trying to quit too, and I was at the same point where I'd gone like a week without one, but then the Dollar General down the store closed, or the Dollar Tree, or whatever it was down the store closed.
And they put all their cartons.
10 cents. And my wife went there and got like $5,000 worth of stuff for like $20, and that included many packs of cigarettes for like 2 pennies a piece. So it just came back to me. I can't get away from it. I'm trying.
Are you 75 years old?
Why is that? I look like it, I know.
No. Well, hey, what's your ice up pick, Greg?
My ice up, I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna go low hanging fruit. I changed it up. I decided I want to go something different. I changed it up. I'm just gonna ice up the Carolina Panthers in their Twitter feed, and they're everybody that's in charge of giving Graham Gano a goodbye tweet and a goodbye message, and not saying anything to Cam Newton. I'm gonna be simple tonight. So there's my ice up. Ice up.
Who's next? Oh, you go next, CK, because Cody's got one I got to work on a little bit. I'm ready, but I got it.
I'm gonna ice up. I've talked about it a little bit already, and it's just the way the world is right now. I'm icing up whoever's incompetence it was decided to have the numbers for COVID completely just fudged entirely. Like just. When we talk about an epic mess up, to be able to have these statistics be the reason that we handled our lives the way that we did for so long, to have them be just botched the way they did, whoever set up this program or the way that these things were being reported, to go from, just to put this into perspective, we already knew that these numbers were skewed. They were inflated because they were reporting multiple people as being multiple, or one person for being multiple positives and stuff like that. There was no logic to this. And now we finally get corrected numbers, and to have it be 25% of what we were told it was, as far as mortality rate, how many people were actually infected. It's just incredibly asinine. Just unbelievable. And I'm not saying it's still not impactful, but we had a pandemic known as the H1N1 back in 2009, that if you go look at the statistics on that, it is far and beyond more problematic than COVID ever has been in the entire time that it's been here. And that lasted for 15 months. And did we shut down our life in 2009? Do you guys remember there being a shutdown like this?
Nope. Never.
So botching that is the biggest, in my opinion. And the problem is the way the world has worked now, and the way that our minds are created, is once we've made our mind up about a subject, we refuse to change our mind.
True that.
So regardless of what the numbers have said, we all have maintained in our same corners that this is the worst thing to ever happen in human history, when now the numbers are coming out showing something completely different. But if they admit to those numbers being wrong, well, guess what? And this is the thing that's so frustrating about politics, is you now are admitting that you're wrong, and that somebody else you've been fighting with is right. And it's too much for our society to take that, because that's how we've been living our lives for far too long.
So instead of saying you miscounted, what you say is, I refuse that numbers exist.
Hey, guys, can I just say real quick, do y'all know what the easiest form of control over a group of people is? Fear.
Yeah.
Just saying. You look at religion, look at pandemics, look at all stuff. The biggest form of control of people is fear. When people fear their lives, they will concede to whatever you tell them to do.
So two things real quick to very quickly add on what CK was saying, and Greg. One, turn off the news, because it's damn near designed to put you in a state of fear and anger at someone else. Okay? And number two, things are so inherently political now, like with what CK was saying. If you were one of the people that were like, wait a minute, these numbers don't make sense to me, I don't know about that, that seems kind of weird, you were instantly labeled as like a Trump-supporting conspiracy theorist. And that just isn't the case, man. Maybe some people are, but then there are other people that don't think in the bounds of, oh, this is what I'm supposed to believe because my favorite politicians tell me to believe this. Like, there are people who can actually think on their own, and I highly recommend that people do that more often.
CK, my
thinkers, baby.
This I've been saying this for weeks at this point, is that you turn on, and I've stopped. I was a big Obama supporter. I saw him speak in 2008, and I used to be, and I stopped talking politics, and I started a podcast on sports because I got tired of yelling and screaming over shit that was never going to
be able to listen. Yeah, nobody's you're not going to change anybody's mind.
Yeah. The other thing though is that I do. But I don't want to be seen as I hate to ever be thought of as an anti-intellectualist, right? And what I mean by that is that, like, what do we say before the show? Yay, science, right? It's like I'm into like thinking that we can be better as a society and think and, you know. But one of the weird things about this event, CK, is that you turn on the news, which I don't watch the news. I only read the internet, and but I don't watch the major brands. Anyway, all the information, we have so much information about this shit, the COVID, and it's all very opaque information, but it's not transparent. I want to know one statistic, and that is how many positive tests are people that have or are told that they have COVID rather than them going, I'm sick. Right? How many of these tests are actually people that are feeling bad? But have you ever had a time where all the information seemingly doesn't match your life experience? And that's what I feel like. It's like I hear all this shit, and then I look out in my life, and I just don't see it.
The world outside your window is completely normal.
Yeah.
So, and here's the part that I think is so frustrating is we saw that these numbers have incredibly deflated, right? They've just went down. And this is not to get political, and this is not me by any means saying that I'm a supporter of Donald Trump. But the reason you are not seeing anybody accept the fact that this sickness is, granted, it is impactful when people are dying. Don't get me wrong, and don't let that slip through the cracks. But the reason this is not getting the attention that it should, with realizing that, hey, we overreacted, is because if they do that, they automatically give Trump a victory.
Yeah, and now the election, 100%.
Yeah, yep. They know that they're going to give that victory to him because he's been saying that from day one. Again, zero support for Donald Trump on my end. I'm not going to sit here and say that this is going to win him the election. But if they if they accept that, and people are now realizing, so you're telling me that everybody else but our president has had the wool pulled over their eyes. And we shut down our businesses. We had people out of work. We increased our national debt a tremendous amount because of this. We've got people out in the streets because they can't pay their rent. We've got businesses shutting their doors forever because they were hanging on by a shoestring as it was. And the one person you hate most in this country, which is Donald Trump, has been saying what logistically it actually is from the beginning.
I've been saying.
I argue with you about that, man. You're 100% right.
I've been saying this since the moment Donald Trump got elected. All right, and I saw it happen with Obama. I've been a centrist, right? My religious beliefs actually generally gravitate me more towards a conservative, right? I always believe this. I believe that everybody in the world is actually a fiscal conservative, right? Nobody really says, let's spend more fucking money than we make. Right, that's not anybody's actual solution to anything. Yeah. But so I have a real libertarian vein to me in a lot of cases. But at the same time, I work for the state and some different things. But I saw what the fucking right did to Obama, and that is they criticized it was like, man, he don't got the lapel on. He's got the lapel backwards. He's got every little fucking thing they made a mountain out of a molehill. And I told liberals, I said, don't do that. I said, he's going to give you plenty of shit to be upset about. Don't get upset about the little shit. Right. And like this. And you know what it does is just like the Republican Party pushed me away between 2008 and 2016, the libs and this stuff is pushing us away. It might not be pushing us towards the other side, but it's pushing away from them.
These past two primaries have forever tainted me away from
either party.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like I've been very involved in my life in politics in a lot of ways, and I could not be. I'm at the point where America will get whatever president it deserves. So if it's Donald Trump, don't bitch about it because we fucking deserve him. If it's Joe Biden, don't bitch about it. We deserve that geriatric Alzheimer's patient. It is what it is, man. Like, don't vote for. This is all I'm gonna say. Don't vote for people who don't represent you.
Exactly. Yeah. And
that
you
is
know
a
what?
great point
Cody,
right there.
Tacking on what you're saying right there, that's what I was saying a few weeks ago, man. Is it's not just got to be Trump or Biden. It's not just got to be two parties. Like Tony was saying, it was never meant to be a two-party system. You know, like there are other people out there. Maybe for the future we should start looking what other people have to say. Other parties have to represent. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
You're right,
You know?
and we need those other parties to be viable. So yeah, you can vote for third party, but they're not going to be the fucking president. We need to make it where there are other parties that actually represent people, because
it only works if you start to vote for them. They pick up they pick up steam.
And there's one other way it works is you stop supporting these other parties.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but the way that it's all set up is there's
stop giving them money. Stop fucking giving them money.
Yeah.
Fear.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I said, fear.
There's fear, and people say it like this: I don't support Joe Biden. Well, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you're voting for Trump. That's what people tell people. And then all of a sudden they think their choice is what we've created with the way that and again, we're getting way off topic here, but we've created something that I don't know if it's a true term or not. Instead of a monarch, we have created a biarch or whatever you want to call it.
Oligarch.
Yeah, I believe we live in an aristocracy. I believe the rich are the ones who rule. Whoever has the most money and the most influence is the one who rules.
Yeah, that's for sure.
What is it? What is it when you what is the new phrase they have for people that just fuck everything? Like they're not
pansexual.
Yeah, something like that. Is stop being is that whatever this and by the way, that here's one more ice up to throwing it out there. I heard millennials are having less sex than any generation. That's how fucking nerdy. Y'all don't like to fuck no more. All right, let's go to Cody. Nice ice up pick. Way to get us all right. How about this? Is CK's ice up pick gets us more riled up than Rich Kendall? All right, here we go. I'm going to play the video. You ready? I'm going to play the video. Oh, wait. Actually, I got to get the sound right.
Let me just set it up real quick, right?
Good.
So, have you ever been, live on Fox Sports or whatever, and talking about canceling college football? And then in the background, a half-naked man just starts walking around for everyone to see for everyone to see. Well, I haven't had that happen to me, but former Ohio State coach Urban Meyer sure as hell has. And I want you all, you probably have to pull up the YouTube video. Watch the video to the end. It's only a minute. Watch over Urban Meyer's left shoulder. And at the end of the video, watch Urban Meyer's face as he tries to tell the guy to get the fuck out of the room and get out of the shot. Dude, it is hilarious.
All right, you ready? All right, here we go. I'm gonna play.
If not, and you're a senior and get ready for the NFL, you gotta do that too.
Right.
So
Here we go. Ready? And I found a bug in OBS, by the way.
It's not your time as a coach or player to really give an opinion about something as serious as pandemic and medical causation. I'm hearing those words of litigation and future issues. So you just got to trust that the people care and love you and go about your business and train as hard as you can. If there's a season, there is. If not, and you're a senior and get ready for the NFL, you got to do that too. So, we live under the world of E+R equals O. That means you can't control events in your life. You can control how you respond. Respond positively and move forward.
Let's see him respond.
What would be as a coach? Give us a sense of what that. I know you talk a ton about of sport, but you are in this most unusual situation where you expect.
Oh, that was awesome. And especially on the heels of that comment. It's not what you can control, it's how you respond. You can't control this asshole walking in the background. Well, yeah, you could have. You could have gone in your bedroom and done this fucking video. Hey.
Yeah, right. And people are like, why is there a half-naked dude walking around behind you? And then people are like, oh, he has a sunburn. He's on a boat. He's just around people on the water. Okay. But even still, if you know that you're going to be on live TV, maybe tell the other people that you're on the boat with, hey, dude, I'm fixing to be doing this thing. Maybe don't bother me for 10 or 15 minutes.
Right.
Come on, dude.
Kind of important.
Dude, it goes to further cement the notion that what we do here, man, doing this live podcast every Tuesday night, we are better trained at this shit than the people running the biggest sports networks in the world, man. So to Urban Meyer and to Fox News and to all the idiots who are trying to be better at our own game than us, come on, bro. Ice up, son.
Ice up. I've been trying to tell you, we put way too much faith in people because of their positions. You know,
Right.
I mean, how many of these fucking dipshit GMs have you seen do stupid shit? You know, and we just be like, oh, well, they've been in football their whole life. All right. Well, guess what we've been in? We hold the position of the top Panthers podcast, bitches, because we've been doing it since 2013. And we do it because we like hanging out. Actually, this is like, I've been weathering COVID just fucking fine because this is what I do anyway. Right? On Tuesday night, I hang out with my homeboys. You can hang out with us on YouTube Live, or you can check us out on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever the hell you get your podcasts. Wherever you want to listen to our wonderful faces and voices. Our voices, you can't listen to our faces. And that's it. At cat_chronicles. Follow me. Troll me. And Cody Lashney, the Cripple Connection. I wonder where that podcast name came from, but it's about video games.
Right? It seems like it's a handicap dating app or some shit, right?
Which actually, pivot. We're changing that's what you're going to do next.
Are you looking for other handy-capable mates in your area? Do we have the app for you? No, bro. Me and my buddy Jeffrey Redmond, we bullshit about video games. We talk about the industry. Look me up on YouTube. It's Cody Lashley. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. We're still growing the channel. Every Saturday, we have a new day. We used to be Fridays at 4. We are now every Saturday at 4 p.m. sharp. And you can find me on Twitter at CodyLac, CODYLAC, where I'll probably be bitching about something, dude. So come join me in my misery.
CK could use a few trolls in the live stream, and he'll hit them with that sultry voice. Tell them what you do and how they can find you.
I am Optimus Prime.
Have
Anyway,
you watched those movies yet?
No, I have not watched them. Yeah, this is so what I do is I stream on Facebook gaming. Codizzle Allen, and I do that typically every night at 10 o'clock. I've got a bit of a schedule kind of working out, so I'll probably have that coming out. I have a logo coming. We're working on some new overlays for the show here tonight as well. I should hopefully have those in the next couple of weeks for us to kind of look at. Yeah, just check me out on Facebook Gaming and pop in. I'm gonna probably hop on here right after this and just let me know that you're coming from C3, and I'll give you a nice little shout out.
Word up, Greg. Where can they find you?
Dude, you can find me all over the place. If you want to find me personally, it's at the Bad Daddy 52 on Twitter. It's really my only form of social media. And then I do a few other shows. The DC Alliance podcast, which is on Tuesday mornings, drops. It is everything DC you want to find out. Superhero discussions on Friday mornings, and that is about a animated universe. Right now, we're covering Superman the Animated Series from I think 1994. We're about halfway through season 2. I do Super Civil Servants podcast on Friday live, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, just like we do this show. Come check us out, be part of the show. And that audio drops on Tuesdays, but is very soon going to be dropping on Saturdays. We're going through a change right now. And I do a Batman You Complete Me show once a month with my boy Travis Snell. Second episode that drops next Tuesday, I believe. But check me out on the Geek Ultimate Alliance as part of the network that I'm with. And we have, we drop shows now 6 days a week. We have 7 shows on the network, about to be 8. So we can cover a lot of different things. If you're a geek, check it out. And then find me here.
Rich Kendall, slide up in my AIM. Right? You can hit me on that.
AOL Instant Messenger, bro.
Yeah, hit me up. It's just like the latest technology, like voicemail. All right, we'll check you out next Tuesday, homie. Later.
Peace and love. Keep pounding.